Hey guys, how are you? It's a beautiful day, isn't it? So I have been doing research on one of my videos, and I think that video is gonna come out very soon about how we should actually interpret the Bible. And first of all, I want to make it very clear that I am not some sort of a spiritual guru, that I am here to tell you exactly what to do in your spiritual life. I cannot say that. But I think what I can do and what I've always done is to offer alternative perspectives. I'm here to tell you, hey guys, you're struggling with this. I am also struggling with that. But have you ever considered an alternative perspective? And here is an alternative perspective. So that is my job on this platform. Don't take my word as the gospel. Please don't do that. So I was researching and discovering things about how to interpret the Bible accurately, and I came to some sort of a realization that the Bible is brilliantly written, okay? With all its chaos and messiness and confusion, I think it is brilliantly written. I think it was deliberately written that way for specific purpose. Just listen to me, okay? Listen to me. This is me actually defending the Bible, okay? I am a huge critic of Christianity and everything, but this is me defending the Bible. And the other thing you have to understand about this channel is that when you come here, you're not going to get one particular opinion or one particular me critic. No, I am going to offer different opinions. I am going to consider different things, okay? I am going to be on different sides on different days, depending on what I actually believe or what I actually deduce, something like that. So I think the Bible is brilliantly written. I think the reason why the Bible is messy and somewhat confusing and sometimes inspiring doubt is because that is what humans relate to. Have you ever thought about that? If the Bible were perfect, it would have been irrelevant a long time ago. But the reason why the Bible is relevant right now, it was relevant 5 years ago in the last generation, and I bet it will be relevant in the coming generations, in the ensuing generations, is because it is fucking messy. And that is what humans relate to. Okay, we are messy. We are confusing. We are trying to figure ourselves out. We are trying to figure out life. And that's exactly what the Bible is. So the Bible is somewhat evolving. It is alive. And I think that is why it's so intriguing. Okay, imagine this. Imagine if the Bible was a book of answers, okay? If you had a problem, you had a question, you had some sort of you had a doubt in your head and you wanted to clear that thing. Imagine if the Bible gave you direct answers, direct solutions, that if you're going through this, do this. Don't you think that would have just destroyed the longevity of the Bible? Because the Bible has stood the test of time because of that, that mystery it carries. People are always talking about it. It has it has an element of controversy in it. Okay? So that is why the people are still like, bro, just listen to me. The Bible was was deliberately written to be confusing, to inspire doubt, so that it can evolve with us, so that we can try to figure it out. It is a problem on its own. Okay, we are trying to interpret it every single day. And we all know how the human mind works. The human mind works when there's a problem. When there's a problem in front of you, that is when you're engaged. We are always trying to solve problems. And the Bible is one of those problems. I think it's a brilliant idea. It is a brilliant idea. And to get back to my original point, I was saying that I was trying to discern the proper way to interpret the Bible. Okay, guys, I think most churches don't tell you this. Most pastors don't tell you this. Okay, they maybe have some some theological understanding, or they have a background in theology, but people don't really know how to interpret the Bible. Like, nobody cares, and Christians don't even, like, if you're a fucking Christian, when was the last time you picked up a Bible, you read it and tried to interpret it, and you went online? Okay, you went online and tried to find alternative perspectives and alternative points of view. Never. You don't do that, because Christians are lazy. Most Christians are lazy. They are relying on some pastor, some deacon somewhere to help them interpret this shit. The Bible is a fucking messy book, and most people read every single passage of the Bible and try to make sense in a way that does not make sense. Okay, you have to consider a lot of things when interpreting the Bible. You have to consider literary forms. You have to consider the audience who that particular message was intended to communicate or was intended to reach. And then you have also to consider the intentions of the author. And then you have also to consider the genre. Okay, is this a poem? Is it a proverb? Is it like, for example, the book of Revelation? People like fucking just interpret it directly. Okay? Like, Christians are dumb. I'm sorry. Christians are dumb. Christians are very stupid people. And they don't know that. And you see them, they say all sorts of things, and you're like, bro, you fucking don't know what you're talking about here, okay? Like, that's just bad, bro. But the problem is, most people don't know how to interpret these things. And most of the time, they fall into these, to the arms of very, very malicious individuals. People with malicious intent. Pastors who are just out to bleed them of everything they have, okay? And that is why I am against church, and I am against, organized religion. Because those people, the individuals who lead those particular institutions, do not necessarily have the masses, interest at art. They just want to steal from them. And you cannot blame them, because the Christians who are following them are fucking stupid. Okay? Like, they're just being told things, and they're like, oh, God is coming, oh, God is this. You have to consider all those things. For example, let me give you a very good example why I'm saying this. Most people interpret the story of the prodigal son. Most people read that parable, and then they conclude that this is Jesus Christ telling the Pharisees and the believers of Christ, or Christians in general, that God is a loving Father, is a forgiving Father, is a merciful Father, okay? But it is deeper than that. Yes, that can be one of the lessons, but that is the lesson when you look at it, from a superficial level, on a superficial level. But if you go deeper and you consider the cultural context, the cultural significance, then it is a totally different thing. Because in the Middle East, when Jesus was telling this particular story, people in the Middle East, like, they had different cultural norms, okay? For a son to come and ask for his inheritance, to demand that his father gives him his inheritance, was just disgraceful, okay? That was disrespect to that father in every single way. That was unwelcomed, unnecessary. That was not supposed to happen, okay? So the son made it even worse when he went ahead and squandered the entire inheritance. Like, he just recklessly spent everything. Now, that was just like, bro, that was so bad. Now, when the son decided to return home, this is what was supposed to happen. This is what should have happened, okay? When the son returned home, he was supposed to be a cutting off ceremony. A cutting off ceremony was supposed to be conducted. It is called a kezaza in Hebrew. So this cutting off ceremony would have included the villagers condemning and damning and rebuking this particular son and chasing him away from their village. And the father would also come and just express his anger, his emotions, his disgust, his contempt, his rage. His like he would come and just rebuke the son. Okay? And then after that, the son would have needed to ask permission to go and train for a job in the next village. Okay? So it was some sort of a public humiliation. The son was supposed to be given a public humiliation and to be just ostracized from that particular village. But that did not happen, because when the son returned home, what did the father do? The father ran to him. He ran to him. That is also another, it's a very significant detail, because that detail shows that the willingness of the father to embrace his son. Because in the Middle East, in the Middle Eastern culture, a father or a man of the father's age and distinction in the society who used to carry themselves in a specific way. They used to walk slowly and in a dignified manner. Okay, so running is very, like, it's very out of the ordinary here. That is just, it's extreme. It is extraordinary. Now the reason why this is important is because when Jesus told the Israelites and when Jesus told this parable in its original context and with all these cultural significance, with people understanding how the culture works, it was deeper. People understood the love of the Father in a deeper way. But modern day readers read that particular verse or that particular parable and they just think, okay, this is just a loving father, forgiving his son and embracing him. It's not that like that. Okay, so Jesus was expressing that, or Jesus was trying to pass across the point that God's love is sometimes incomprehensible. Okay, like his love is so deep that it is incomprehensible to, like, it's irrational how God loves humanity. So, that is just some of the things that people should, those are just some of the things that people should consider when interpreting these biblical scriptures, because most of the time people just read them as motivational quotes, like Jeremiah, oh, God will bless you and prosper and blah blah blah. It's not like, bro, read the fucking thing in its context. It's different. Okay, so guys, I hope you got something out of that video, and I hope I'm not confusing. I hope I'm not sending you mixed signals. Okay, I am not going to define or label myself as a Christian critic or no. I am just a human being who's trying to figure shit out. That is who I am. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I have the authority to command you or to direct you in a particular way. I don't have the authority to tell you what to do in your life, but I can help you with alternative perspectives. I can tell you, hey, consider this if you want to make a decision. Okay, this is what I think about. Okay, is this real? Is this true? Like stuff like that. So I am not going to sit here and be like, oh, I know it all. Yeah, come for me for advice. I am the guru and blah, blah, blah. I am not, man. So I hope you got something out of that video. See you next time. Peace.